Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we have something pretty unique to share with you. We are not talking about a game. What are we talking about?
We're talking about all the games and how we look at them. Obviously, we have this review channel. We love talking about games, sharing all these games with you guys. But that begs the question, what goes into making a review?
Yeah.
And there's lots of different reviewers out there. They all have a different style, a different approach. So we kind of want to go over our approach with you guys to kind of know where we're coming from, why we do organize our reviews the way we do, all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, we'd love to hear your feedback as well.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we want to remind you to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. And as soon as we hit 3,000, we're going to do our top 100, which I'm already stressing out about.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be so hard. There's so many good games. But, okay, let's get into it. You will notice, if you followed us for any length of time, that we do not do a rating system, and that is intentional.
That's right. I mean, a lot of reviewers or just in general, people like to categorize things by numbers. This is a 10, this is a 3, this is a 7, or whatever the case is. To us, a lot of the stuff is meaningless, right?
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. First of all, you usually have to have some kind of a rating rubric.
Yeah.
So maybe some people are just using their guts and they're just like, that feels like a 7. Either maybe. But
yeah, it could be.
I feel like a lot of people use some kind of a rating rubric. So they have like components, they have gameplay, they have easy to teach or whatever the case is. They have some series of
rule book.
Yeah. Some series of categories that they come up with that they think are important to a game and the quality of that game. They give that individual thing a category, a score, and then that gives it an aggregate score at the end.
Yeah.
My problem with that is one of those categories might be irrelevant. What is the most important thing to us?
Yeah.
How much fun it is. Yes. How good the game is to play it. If we enjoy playing it. Games are meant to be played and enjoyed.
Yeah. There's been games with fantastic components, but horrible gameplay.
And if we were forced into some kind of a rubric, that score would be okay. We'd get an okay grade.
Exactly.
And vice versa. Some amazing gem of a game.
It's like turning in all the homework, but failing the test.
Right. You have some amazing gem of a game that has okay components, and instead of being able to talk about how fun it is, we have to end up giving it a much lower grade than what our experience actually reflects.
Yeah. And another reason why is your thoughts and feelings change. So when we review and the thoughts we have behind it, those won't really change the reasons why we like something or dislike something, but our overall rating could change throughout the years. This could be something that I really loved and I don't anymore, or I didn't like it and now I do, and if I would go back, I would actually change the rating that I originally gave it. And so to make it as timeless as possible, we just don't do that type of rating.
So another thing we do with of our reviews is we do a small little kind of a how to play section of the review.
It's so sweet that you said we, because it's Ryan. Cousin.
Well, we will introduce the video and then we'll go into we're going to give you an overview of how to play this game, and then we'll go back and give our actual critical thoughts on the game. And we do that so that way when we do give our critical thoughts on the game, you have an idea of where we're coming from. You got a chance to see all the components laid out. You had a chance to see how some of the interactions work between one another, what some of the action choices might be, things like that, so you get an idea of where we're coming from. So first of all, we're going to probably keep on doing that, unless you tell us otherwise. So let me just throw this out there really quick to you guys. Would you prefer that I do an official how to play video? And then when we do our actual review, just say, hey, if you want to learn how to play and see where we're coming from, go watch our other video about this. If you want us to do that, we can. It would be a little bit more work, but it's something that if you guys are asking for, then that's something I'm willing to do. Or is it better to have it all in one video, but not have a full teach per se, but more of like an overview? So I'm not going to get into every minutia of the rules. I'm just trying to give you guys a flavor for the game.
Yeah.
So let us know, or maybe it's a little of both. Maybe it's like on the ones that are really complicated, we'd love to learn how to exactly play it. Maybe I can do those. Whatever it is, I'm getting off topic. Just put it in the comments below if you like that. Our current approach, which is giving an overview of how to play in the middle of our review.
I know a lot of people always want to know whenever somebody's reviewing a game, how many times did you play it? And a friend of ours, Jordan over at Jordan Plays Blue, said something. I can't remember if he said it or he typed it or wherever he said it, but he said that it doesn't matter how often he plays a game because it's never enough. There's always going to be that person that's like, well, if you played it 5 more times, or if you played with these people, or if you did this, then you would like the game. So that's just information that will never be given because it doesn't matter the number. It will, for a good chunk of people, it won't matter. It would not have been enough to fully explore the game. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, if we play a game 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, there's always, and if we end up with a less than positive overall thoughts on the game, and there's always going to be someone who's a big fanboy of the game who comes out and says, like, well, it really comes into its own at its 1 millionth play. You should have really played it 1 million times to really fully explore it. No. We're not going to do that.
Not.
We're going to play it as much as we can, and we're going to play it with, I think it's very important to us is we play with a wide variety of player counts, right? Some games are played like 2 to 6. It's kind of a wide range when you think about it. We'll do our best to get together a 2-player, a 4-play, a 6-player play, or whatever the case is. That way we can give you the best perspective within that. And maybe we'll come to the conclusion that this shouldn't have been a 2-player game at all.
That has happened.
It should be a 3 to 5 or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So that's more important to us than hitting a certain number, hitting 25 plays of every game. That's rather than do that, we'd rather explore the player counts and make sure we're exploring all the factions. If there's a faction game, we want to make sure we play as all the different factions so we know how they all work together. Things like that. That's more important to us than a certain number of plays.
Now, every game we play may not be a game that we necessarily enjoy, but we try to talk about something positive about the game because at the end of the day, the large majority of games that we play to review for you it's somebody's baby. It's somebody that they spent a lot of time on. They developed it. They got it signed by a company, and it's really exciting for that designer. And even if I don't like a game, I try to find something good about the game. Now, there are a few exceptions where a game is just horrible and I think it should be in a dumpster fire, but that actually doesn't happen as much as you think it would. So I do try to find, we both try to find something that is good about the game.
We like showcasing things that are unique about this game, or a certain moment that was like kind of an aha moment. We like showcasing those things about a game that, what are not just what do we like and what do we dislike, but more of like what's unique, what's something that this game brings to the table that we haven't seen before, or at least in this exact way. That's kind of a really fun way to showcase that. However, there's also the opposite side of the coin, right? Even on a game that we like, potentially, there might be a frustration point, or something that was, a card combo that was broken, or too much downtime in one aspect, or it didn't work at a certain player count.
Or the rule book is horrible.
So there's various things like that it's our obligation to bring that to your attention. So we're not going to get into the nitty gritty and fine tooth comb every little bad thing about a game, but if there's some things that are obvious and glaring, we got to bring those to your attention. So that's usually the next part of our review is if there's something that is a negative aspect for us, we're gonna call that out at that point.
Or even if it's just something that we think it didn't bother us, but it might bother like somebody else, we want people to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe to the core of who I am that not everybody on the planet is a board gamer. However, I do believe that there is a board game for everybody, and I believe that to the core of who I am.
So that's kind of leads into our last bullet point, which is we think it's really important to find and match up the audience with the intended audience of a game with the game. So just because I don't like push your luck games, Bethany does. So when we're playing a push your luck game, my overall thoughts of the game might not be super positive, but it's still important for me as a reviewer to then go and say, hey, listen, if you like push your luck games that have this twist on it, this is the game that you're going to want to check out. So I think that's one of the last things we talk about is who the audience is for, who the audience of this game is. If you like, quick, fast war games, even if it's not our category, okay, this is what we want you to check out. Or even if we do, in fact, love worker placement, we're still going to say, hey, this is a heavier worker placement game. If that's not you, this might be one you want to stay away from. Just because we want to make sure that you, as the consumer, are getting in front of the right games that you're going to like.
Exactly, yeah. We want to make sure that if you're making any type of purchasing decision off of our video, that we're giving you the information that you need to make a decision that you're going to be happy with.
That's right. I mean, there's so many games out there, and honestly, they're all have fun, cool, unique things about them, with one or two exceptions that are just dumpster fire games, which is sometimes those are fun to
Like
review
there's
too.
things in my mind, right? I'm having like some, ugh.
But that being said, there's lots of fun games out there. We're going to talk about them all, and we're going to not all of them. We're going to talk about a lot of them, and we are going to keep on mentioning who we think the right audience is for. What are some good things about them? What are maybe some possible frustration points about them? We're even going to give you a quick overview of how to play them. We're going to do all that, and we're going to keep on. Bringing more and more games to the table for you guys.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for watching. We hope this was fun and informative, a little behind the scenes of our thought processes of when we review games. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out, and you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks for watching our shenanigans. As always, we appreciate it. Over here, if you follow this link, you're going to find a playlist we've hand-selected, handcrafted just for you because you watched this video.
And if you check over here, this is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. So you can check that out if you want as well.
All right, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.